So the Nazi trend is actually very much in line with OPS that classify people into particular types. There is a distinction between people and over time that will inevitably manifest in the structuration of society with the types in mind. So a little bit like transhumanism, that some people will experience type engineering and hormones and say, okay, this kind of type have to go there, this kind of type have to go there. I think a lot of people will do that, for sure. And that's very much in line with the kind of a Nazi type of mindset. And I think that because of that, and even because of visual typing, you can say, that visual typing is a lot on genetics, how you appear, the expression of your genes. It's like a lot of trends are pointing out that the good form, the good people will say that all Nazi is bad, but Nazi embody a lot of themes, and the genetic trend will be like very investigated, a lot. Like the trend of genetic will probably explode. Like that's more the and a lot of things that are demonized within the Nazi will be integrated into the genetic trend. So that's more how I see it. So there is distinction between people, and over time that will inevitably manifest in the structuration of society with the types in mind. If each type has a destiny and some areas attract more a certain type, then making it conscious will make society highly influenced by it, which will be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah. Think of the education system or OPS is genetic. So if OPS is really genetic, that will be a massive genetic shift in how we understand personality. And you can expect that, the genetic trend will just match very well with OPS. Like they will go end in end. It will go steamroll, fucking visual. Okay, Nazi. Okay, can we improve ourselves with genetic? It will go to the transhumanism. Like it will be crazy. Like I do see that those trends are coming together. It will be a crazy world, to be honest. I think it's more in 20-30 years. So, and genetic can be more easily tracked since 2015, 2016, breaking a lot of ecological paradigms and social structure, like the Indo-European being a fiction that turned out to be a major genetic shift in European DNA. So that's more the Aryan, so that's why it connects very well. Like that's why I have to include Nazi in the trend, because people they demonize so much with the Nazi, like the Indo-European or the Aryan that the Nazi talk about, but the Indo-European, they were put as a fiction because of the Nazi. But we know now that that's not a fiction, that's actually true. Like genetically, with the genetic revolution with that, 2015, we do see that they exist, that the Indo-European Yamna culture, they just colonize Europe. And Europe is really composed of 3 main genetic group. And the last one was Indo-European, and which went to India, so that's why it's also Indo, because they went to India, and the root of our language stem from those people. So even in India, the root of the language is the same as the Europeans, so that's why it's all Indo-Europeans. So it's not a fiction. So that's also what is happening with the Nazi trend, is that we will see a lot of deconstruction about our culture, about our worldview. It's like we have run for 60 years about a certain type of worldview, and now there is a shift that will happen, and that shift is the Nazi trend. So that's how I name it, and so it will shift towards a new ideology, and that new ideology will be the end of the World War II consensus, which will be something else, which we will include more something that we demonize with the Nazi, like genetic with the Indo-Europeans, being more aware also of eugenic to some degree, like I talk with types, the different types of in mind. I think that I think it will be very integrated into the system. Like it will not go all in, because like we have learned, like I think that as a society we have learned from that. So the like it will be integrated. It will not be Nazi like before. It will not be racism or like killing other people. Like it will not be that. It will be, I hope, but I think that this trend we have still learned from that this trend will include something that we have demonized from the Nazi, but also reject a lot of what they did. So yeah, and it's not a personal take, to be honest. Like, it's more what I see in the trend. So the Nazi trend is very much Nietzschean, even if he wasn't a Nazi, you know. Even if like the sister of Nietzsche painted him as a Nazi, and he was kind of a symbol of the Nazi to some degree, but he never was a Nazi. No? It's a very social one, masculine, military, right-wing, innate gift, romantic, and nationalistic honor paradigm. So it's true that the worldview of Nietzsche mapped well to the Nazi, even if he wasn't a Nazi at all, because Nietzsche was very social one, was very masculine, and you know, the innate gift romantic, more to say that it's more about the innate, and romantic is also very associated with nationalistic, and it's more honor paradigm. Like the Germans are more collective people. The Germans are very collective but also very romantic, and military, like Prussia that transformed into Germany, was a very military country actually, that was very creative, like Kant, like a good, very good philosopher. They stem from Prussia, but yeah, it went after to a more military thing, and after it just went to Germany, and Germany kind of transformed, and that's not a surprise that you know, the Nazi stem from Germany. So that's so when you analyze culture, when you know history, you kind of are aware of that. That like it's still a worldview that you saw that evolved from Prussia military thing. So, and it's aligned very well with Nietzsche ideology to some degree. You know, they capitalize on social for energy, trauma, and lack of spirit. Yeah, so I guess the Nazis more, they capitalize on the people that were, you know, having poor condition, losing social structure, you know, being traumatized, lack of spirit, and you know, unfortunately, Hitler utilized that energy of people being like right now, like a lot of anxiety right now and stress, and Hitler capitalized on that kind of energy in Germany, and you know, just steamrolled that, which is very much in line with the Nietzsche worldview also. That he, you know, he talk a lot like Nietzsche. If you read him, the social four and one energy, you can see it a lot of his texts. So yeah, the philosophers saw the interaction of social four and social one in a culture, and the problem of the lack of God coming to false idols, like Hitler. So it's more like false idols like Hitler. The honor and frenzy of the Germanic people left without it. So you know, he's a German Nietzsche, so he talk a lot about that kind of honor and all that. The intellectual incel German wanting to be the Übermensch, Dionysus SF, who is in fact Woden. So it's true that Nietzsche painted Dionysus as SF and Apollo as NT, and he said that we have to go more to Dionysus, more the SF, more that kind of frenzy. That's actually more in fact Woden, which is more the pagan god of the Germanic. So it's interesting that Nietzsche was also not really aware of that thing of the Woden, and he associated that with the Dionysus. But yeah, a lot of German fall into that worldview of the collective Übermensch. You know, the Übermensch, more like the Overman or the Superman, like we are the best, the superior race. So that's why they also went to that route, like the Nazi. Like it's like we are the superior people, and we have to do something about it. And it's more the military also kind of worldview that they had within their culture, and that just create a whole lot of atrocity with World War II. But yeah, you can even see in the German philosopher like a lot of ideas that they were brewing about, a lot of themes, and yeah, a lot of NT people, I would say, the German, that tried to integrate the SF. And you know, Germany was a split. Like Germany was a very split country. Like if you know your history with the Middle Ages, like the Holy Roman Empire was very divided, a lot of principalities. It was really a lot of multiplicities, and they all aligned into a collective unity. But that collective unity was very frenzy, and you know, that's, you can explain World War II is when you know history. But yeah, so the political trend, the genetic trend, I think the historical trend, so more that kind of trend of the Nazi will be integrated in the culture without demonizing them, and we will, throw everything that was very bad about the Nazi. And in my sense, that will align very well with OPS. I think that politics can be analyzed very well with OPS. The genetic trend will go hand in hand with OPS when we see that types are in fact genetic.